Kyra Cards for Engearment.com, here today to talk about one of Marmot's really cool bags, the Trestle Elite Eco. I'm going to be talking about the 30-degree bag, and let's get into all the neat specs and what makes this bag so environmentally friendly. Marmot's Trestle bags have been a classic in their line, and the Trestle Elite Eco is an updated version with environmental friendliness in mind. The thing that sets this bag apart is its entirely polyester construction. From the outing to the inside insulation, it is all recycled polyester, which means it can all be recycled as one unit, which is so important and makes it so much easier to sort out from an environmental standpoint. But before we hop into more of the specs, let's talk about the sizing. I am currently in the regular 30-degree bag. It is rated for about 6 foot. I'm 6'1", 6'2", and it fits super comfortably. As you can see, sitting down in it right now, I can get the hood up, still have a bit of wiggle room. Nice and comfortable in that regard. It's gonna have 2 side zippers and both a front cinch, so you can cinch that front bit up, and a cinch on the hood right here, so you can cinch that hood down a bit more to help really compress it. It has a wonderful snagless lining tube or draft tube to keep you nice and warm even when it is a little bit unzipped or just when any of that air is moving through a zipper. This is going to help prevent that from having any impact on your sleeping experience. I'm going to get this thing off so we can talk about it a little bit more. But it is complete with both a storage bag, which is super important for really any insulation piece. You don't want to store it in a compression sack, which it does also include. And like you saw in the opening, you can compress it down pretty substantially. But a larger storage sack is going to let it breathe, keep the insulation from bunching up, which is super important for an item that you really don't want to have weird insulation pockets. Now, the construction of this bag is such that you probably won't get that anyways. Marmot's done a very good job of using a shingle layering system for the upper insulation. So it's gonna be sat in shingles, and that'll keep it from, again, creating those pockets of insulation or pockets where there isn't insulation, creating cold spots. So that's gonna substantially reduce that. And then the bottom side is gonna be done with a sheet, kind of blanket-like insulation. So it'll be super comfortable on the ground. And again, hopefully you're sleeping on a sleeping pad or something comfortable, but it will create that extra layer of consistent kind of comfort, softness, and then most importantly, insulation. Now let's talk a bit more about the zippers. There is 2 zippers on this bag. You have the left side, which has a full quarter length zipper that goes all the way up to the top. Nice and comfy there. You can't see it super well, but this thing is fantastic at preventing snags. It is designed to not catch on this material, so you're not accidentally ripping your bag open, letting the insulation spill out. It has both an inside and an outside zipper, so you can unzip yourself or zip yourself up once you are tucked in, or again, you just want to be able to get to it from the outside. It also has a zipper on the bottom end, and this has a nice little, again, draft tube and a little piece that it will zip over, so you won't have any air leaking in through that bottom piece. But this will mean that you can help your feet air out a bit more, get that airflow through the sleeping bag on those warmer nights. Especially with the 30-degree bag, this is more designed for summer expeditions or like warmer season. This wouldn't be my go-to. They do have a 20 and 0-degree bag for colder weather, but you want something that you can use in a bunch of different temperatures for those more spring, summer, fall bags that you really want to be able to be comfortable in across different temperatures, and having ways to air out is going to make that substantially easier. It has a nice constructed footbed. It's going to be a little hard to tell, but there is room for your feet in this bottom part, which is fantastic. Instead of just kind of being in that narrow bag, having to tuck your feet weird, you're going to have about 43 inches of space in the regular sizing, which is super nice. It means your feet can just sit upright, super comfortable. Nice little bottom things to hang it up. Once you've used it, you need to let it air and dry out. And then the other zipper we have is going to be this right side zipper, which is only going to be a quarter length of the bag, but it is super helpful. As you saw in the initial parts of this video, you can have both your arms out and have that front bit down. So again, super great at keeping airflow, but also means you have some extra mobility, which I find super nice, especially when you're just like on a car camping trip or with some friends. You want to be able to check your phone, you want to be able to roll around and just generally have a bit more freedom of movement instead of being tucked into and mummied into a bag. And even when you have one of the sides open, you still don't really get to breathe. You still have that one shoulder that's fully covered and you have to like take the hood off. This is going to prevent all of that with those two zippers. Super nice, super functional, super comfortable. Another neat little piece of functionality that this bag has is an internal pocket right here. And this is going to be great for like a headlamp, if you want to toss a phone in there or something. Just super nice to have easy access to something inside of your bag, especially if it is an electronic device and you need to keep it warm throughout the night. I don't always like having things in my pockets when I'm sleeping, but especially when you're outside and in a more cold environment or limited to how much battery life you might have for things, you want to make sure everything's staying warm so it doesn't get cold and the battery will lose its life quicker. So that's super helpful, super functional. And then, like I said, this bag is 100% polyester. And the insulation itself is going to be an HL Elixir insulation, which is a polyester-based insulation. Super cool. Marmot's done a really great job of creating something that is just as functional as any other piece while using very environmentally conscientious tactics and using recycled polyester for its construction as well. But this thing is going to be rated for 30 degrees. It's going to be comfortable at 32 or 0 degrees Celsius. It's going to have a 20 degree limit and a 21 degree limit and a negative 10 degree extreme limit, but it will still function in those environments. Now, it's not going to be as light as some performance bags. It's a bit over 2 pounds, but I think especially if you're on not a lightweight excursion, but like a car camping trip, you're traveling, you're visiting friends, you just want to have a lower impact with your comfort sleeping, this is going to be a great bag. The whole process behind it is so fantastic, and it's really cool to see brands like Marmot making such strides in creating product that will have a less negative impact in years to come. So go check out Marmot's Trestle Elite Eco bag, and if you want less impact while you're staying warm at night out in the woods, this is what you should be looking at. Kyra Cards for Engearment.com.